Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.
Talking with Tom. I'm Tom Dacey alongside Ed McCarver. Hello, Edward.
Hello, Tommy. How are you tonight?
Good, good. Back in the studio once again.
Yep, good to be back here at NHTV in a nice, cozy studio.
Yeah, you know, it's this weather's been crazy lately, and last couple of nights has been nice sleeping weather, though.
It has been nice, and of course I sleep. Actually, I do most of my sleeping during my working hours, which gets me in trouble here. But yeah, it has been nice to not have the air conditioner blasting away at night and having my electricity bill go up. It has been very pleasant. Kind of a sign that I guess fall is just around the corner. But as we always say, as the older we get, the quicker the summers seem to roll by.
And of course, football season right around the corner.
Yeah, and I told you before, I'm pumped up. Jets' first preseason home game Friday night against the always vicious Detroit Lions. So we know that Mark Sanchez and company start the journey Friday night towards the Super Bowl.
So
I hope.
I can see that you and Mr. Cuomo will have a lot to talk about on open mic coming up, huh?
Well, Mike Cuomo, whose very fine program is seen Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. here on NHTV, is a diehard Buffalo Bill fan, and I'm a diehard Jet fan, and we both hate the Patriots. It's about the only thing football-wise that Michael and I have in common. But oh yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about this fall.
But yeah, and I understand we have a great guest this evening, but I understand in conjunction with that, you just participated in a race recently?
Yeah, our guest tonight is Priscilla Clark, who's with the Connecticut Humane Society. She's a developmental specialist at the Connecticut Humane Society, and she's going to talk about the Humane Society. But they recently had a fundraiser in July at Hubbard Park in Meriden. It was the Central Connecticut Dog Walk and also 5-kilometer road race.
Did Maureen walk you?
Yes. Well, she always keeps me on a short leash, so I couldn't walk very far. But yeah, I took part in the road race. Rachel Frank from Channel 61 was the guest speaker down there, and she came down and helped out. Yeah, we ran the race. It was up. Anybody that's familiar with Hubbard Park knows it's halfway up to the famous castle up there, Castle Craig, and then you turn around and run back down. It's a 5K race, and it was tough. I finished 35th out of 80, and
great job,
and second in my division, which I'm proud of.
Congratulations.
Although, in the interest of full disclosure, I think there are only 2 people my age group running. So. But it was fun, and it was for a good cause. And I think they raised, we'll ask Priscilla, but I think they raised like $20,000 that day for the Connecticut Humane Society. So yeah, it's a good organization. So we're going to learn a lot about that tonight.
And I understand our mutual friend, Old Reliable, was there as well.
Yes, she was. Yep, I had a chance to speak to Luann before and after the race. I was mostly out of breath speaking with her after the race, but yeah, she was there helping the cause, and of course it's always a good day when you get a chance to converse with Old Reliable.
But as I usually say, Edward, have you done your homework?
Yes, I have, young man.
With Ed's Humor News, take it away, Goob.
And because of our guest tonight, I have a short newscast, but they all have a sort of a canine theme to them. All right, Tommy, a designer has launched a range of wigs that turn pets into pop princesses, including Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, and even Dolly Parton. Dogs and cats can also be dressed up as dragons, pilots, wizards, or Prince Charming, thanks to Leah Workman's wacky creations. The 40-year-old from Los Angeles spotted the trend of dressing up pets while studying in Japan, and later teamed up with her husband, Hiroshi Hibino, to launch the company called Godzilla. She says the most popular wig is the Lady Gaga, while the pilot's outfit tops the chart in the costume department. Well, a University of Florida football player, Antonio Morrison, was arrested recently after being spotted barking at a police dog. According to officials, Morrison walked up to the open window of a police car and barked at the dog. The dog responded by barking back, prompting an officer to arrest Morrison for interfering with a police canine. By the way, no truth to the rumor that Morrison will soon be drafted by the New York Jets. Finally, lonely, bored dogs left at home all day while their owners are at work could soon be getting some digital company. A TV channel with programming just for pooches. Dog TV, a 24/7 channel designed specifically for man's best friend, will air nationally next month on DirecTV, with hopes of attracting dogs in some of the 46 million U.S. households that have at least one. The channel won't be showing the canine equivalent of Modern Family or Mad Men, but will feature programs with music, visuals, animation, and the occasional human that are designed to relax, stimulate, and ease the loneliness of home alone pets. The channel will cost $4.99 a month, according to a spokesperson. Sports programming will include a replay of every time Michael Vick gets tackled, and a new canine conversation show will air, tentatively called Talking with Tippy. And I just made those last two up. So and that's a look at some of the more brief bizarre news stories we have tonight.
Talking with Tippy.
Talking with Tippy. So. With a co-host who I'm sure is a mutt like the one in real life. So.
What do you say we take a break?
We'll take a short break, and we'll get, if she still wants to come on, now that she's seen that opening, see if our guest will come on, and we'll invite your calls. So we'll take a break right after this.
And we're back with Priscilla.
Yes.
Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.
Welcome back.
Well, who needs a PSA when you have a fine opening like that? So our crack staff is wanted to show that again, and we're appreciative of that.
Of course, Eric is back at the helm tonight.
Yes.
He was off last month. Well, we welcome him back this evening.
We're happy to have him back. As we always say, Eric, Michael, and Martin have the toughest job there, trying to make us look good,
and that's tough for you, I know.
Always has been.
But let's officially welcome our guest, shall we?
All right.
No stranger to Talking with Tom. She's been on here a couple of times now. She's becoming an old pro, like Old Reliable.
That's right.
Please welcome our good friend, Priscilla Clark. Welcome back, Priscilla.
Priscilla, welcome.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you for coming back. You are a development specialist at the Connecticut Humane Society, located up in Newington, Connecticut.
I am. And before we get into your questions, which I know are going to be fabulous, first off, I just wanted to congratulate you, Tommy, on 19 years of the show. This is amazing. You share a lot of good information. You share a lot of fun and a lot of laughs with the community. So
Thank you.
I say keep on doing it.
Thank you.
And just a little token for you. I know you like hats, so this is going to add to your hat collection there.
And this has the Connecticut Humane Society logo on it, so
Yes.
there you go, Tom. So.
Wear it in good health.
Yeah, we'll even put it on now. There you go.
Excellent.
Looks a lot better than a dolphin or those red socks that you wear.
Ooh,
wait a
them
minute.
fighting words.
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe. We'll cut that out of the tape. So.
Priscilla, how did the Connecticut Humane Society begin?
We actually, it's a great story, Tommy. We were founded in 1881 by a 17-year-old girl. So let me take you back to the 1800s. Women didn't have a lot of say in a lot of things. And this young lady, who was a Hartford High School senior in 1881, she really decried not only how animals were treated, but also how the elderly were treated, and women and children, as well as farm animals and workhorse and work animals. So she got together, she reached out through her church community and said, I want to do something about this. And she got her first few sponsors, her first few donors, and the Connecticut Humane Society was founded. Since then, we're going to fast forward to the 1960s when the state of Connecticut developed a bunch of different departments. So,
And there you see, excuse me for interrupting, there you see on the screen now is the logo for the Connecticut Humane Society.
that's right.
So,
That's us with the heart paw.
Nice, very nice. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. This is a good thing. So in the 1960s, the state of Connecticut developed a bunch of different departments. So the state of Connecticut, the government developed the Child and Family Services, the Department of Welfare, the Department of Wildlife, etc. So now we care for what we call companion animals. And companion animals are any pet that you bring into your home that you love like a member of your own family.
Yep.
Sometimes you love them more than members of your own family.
Ain't that the truth?
I tell you. So it's cats and dogs. We think of cats and dogs when we think of pets. It's also birds, ferrets. Some people even have rats as pets, small mice, guinea pigs, gerbils, you name it. We've actually, we found a new home for a gentleman who had to surrender his snake, his pet snake, to us years ago. So we found his pet snake a home. So
Does that happen often, these exotic animals? Or
not
is it
very
just...
often, Ed, although recently we've had some large, beautiful birds that obviously require special care. You really need to know what you're doing when you have a large parrot in your home, for example. And so it's a great opportunity for us because we accept pets not only from animal control officers in the state of Connecticut, so that's the police department division in each and every town that handles animals, and we also accept surrenders of pets from the community if people are no longer able to care for them. And that's something really important that we think is very important, that people can use us as a resource.
How did you get involved with the Connecticut Humane Society?
Oh boy, there we go. You're taking me back. Years ago, when I first started doing event planning, so we're going back about 25 years or so, I adopted 2 rescue cats when I lived in Stamford. One was in an abandoned building that was about to be demolished, and the other one came to me because she was in a home and she wasn't being cared for. So I went to an animal rescue group and adopted these 2 cats. So fast forward, my Vegas, who, if people know me, they know my Vegas, my little boy. He's 16 years old, going strong. And they have been an amazing part of my life. And I started volunteering with them. They said, what do you do for a living? I said, I'm an event planner. And they said, oh, you can help us. So I started organizing things like their tag sales. And then they started having cocktail parties. And then we got grants from foundations. And I'm happy to say that the group that I volunteered with in Stamford 20-something years ago actually has a building. And they have a place now, brick and mortar, where they run their work through. So
How did he get the name Vegas?
He got the name Vegas because he had a bunch of extra toes. He's polydactyl, which means he has 3 extra toes on all of his feet. And he's a very large cat. And someone told me that cats with many toes are lucky, hence the name Vegas.
There you go.
There you go.
Never knew that. So
And I was very lucky when the organization decided that they wanted to expand their staff and their fundraising efforts to include events. I joined their staff just about a year and a half ago. And so I organize their fundraisers, but I also organize all of their awareness and educational events across the state. And they have 3 shelters and 1 animal clinic. The largest shelter and clinic are in Newington, Connecticut, so just outside of Hartford. And then the other 2 shelters are in Waterford and Westport. So we're kind of a big triangle in the state of Connecticut. We try to help as many folks as we can.
That's what my next question was gonna be your mission statement.
Yes, yes, really, our mission statement is to be a resource, the best resource in the state of Connecticut for information about animal care, and be a resource for families to take care of their pets, and really promote compassion to pets. So that's our mission, and we do that through a bunch of different ways. Obviously, we have a shelter where we adopt pets to the public. We have a reduced cost veterinary clinic for the public, so anybody can come and use those services, and that's up in Newington. It's called the Fox Memorial Clinic, which is a great opportunity for people who may not be able to afford a for-profit veterinarian. My cat's on 3 different blood pressure medicines, so I can tell you, having a pet can be expensive.
Oh yeah, I know that firsthand.
So, being able to call the Fox Clinic or visit our website and find out, how you can get these services is so important to the community. We run tours, we run educational programs in the schools, and of course, we support all of those things through our fundraising efforts.
And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're talking with Priscilla Clark from the Connecticut Humane Society, and you can join us tonight by calling us at 203-234-0025. The first question that they might have is, how can one adopt a pet from the society? Walk us through the steps to do that.
Definitely, Ed. The first thing they want to do is visit our website, which is www.cthumane, that's HUMANE.org.
Okay.
We just revamped our website. It has a lot of new features to it. We added just a couple months ago. And you can scroll through all of the available pets at all 3 of our shelters. Let's say you're just looking for a specific kind of dog. You can just look at all the dogs at all of our shelters. Each pet will have a photograph, sometimes several photographs, which is nice. You can see them at different angles. And a description of their personality, of what they like, what they're familiar with, because we do behavior analysis on all of our pets. So we can tell you if a dog is good with cats, if a cat is good with other cats. And we're very lucky that we have a huge volunteer base of very dedicated folks who not only come into the shelters and help us care for the pets, but also photographers and videographers. So a lot of the pets on our website, you can click either on 1, 2, 3 of the photos, or if they have a video available, you can click on that. So you can actually see the dog or the cat interacting, better see their personality. So let's say, Ed, you see the perfect Shih Tzu. Let's say you're looking for a Shih Tzu, and we have a Shih Tzu, a dog. So you would come to the shelter. You don't need to make an appointment to come to the shelter to look at pets. You can just come in. We're open 7 days a week at all 3 of our shelters. And you would ask to speak with an adoption counselor and say, I would like to see this dog. Or this is my family, and this is our lifestyle. And we're looking for a pet that's going to fit into that lifestyle. Now, because our adoption counselors know these pets so well, and we spend a lot of time learning the pets' personalities. So we're not just going to say, oh, you want a black dog? Here's a black dog. We're going to say, well, where do you live? How much time are you home? Do you have children in your home?
That's what I was wondering. What would the adoption counselor ask you? And the reason I said that, we had adopted a senior golden retriever from, and I don't know if they're a competitor, Yankee Golden Retriever Rescue.
They're a great rescue group.
Up in Massachusetts.
They're great.
And we had to have our whole family present.
You
and they
do?
came and they asked questions, you know, working schedules, school schedule, whether our yard had a fence, things of that. Now, are these similar questions that these people would be asked?
Definitely. We have an application that we ask folks to fill out, and that application really tells us a lot about your lifestyle, your family. The story I tell people is if someone comes in and says, I want to adopt that Great Dane, and we all know they're big dogs. I see this Great Dane out in the shelter and I want to adopt him. If a person lives in, let's say, a third floor walk-up apartment and it's a studio, we're not necessarily going to adopt a Great Dane to that person. So we really want it to be the right fit for the person and the pet. And we ask that all the family members, or the adults and the children, hopefully, who would be spending time with the pet, caring for the pet, would come in and meet with us. If you have another pet in your home, let's say you have an older dog and you'd like to adopt a puppy, we do an interaction. So you bring in your dog to meet the puppy, see how they do. Or if you have a dog and you want to adopt a cat, you do the same thing. And the great thing about Connecticut Humane Society is that if you adopt a pet, bring him home, and you have any kind of problems, let's say the dog all of a sudden starts scratching on a table or something, we have behavior consultants who you can call and say, I just adopted this dog and now he's doing this. So we're with you through the entire process. We're with you for the life of your pet. And I think that's really important service that not a lot of shelters are able to provide that we can.
Now, let's say I wanted to adopt a pet, but I wanted to adopt it for Ed. Could I do that?
The person who's going to be caring for the pet actually needs to do the adoption, so that we would need to. So let me put this a way that makes sense. We don't believe in gifting pets. A pet is not a gift. A lot of people will come to us during the holidays and say, oh, I want to get my auntie a dog. No, it doesn't work that way. Because a pet is a family member. You're adopting a new member of your family. You're adopting a new child. Just how I see my pets, you know, they're my children. So that's a really great question. We certainly encourage people, if they know someone who's interested in adopting, but the person's unsure of the process, as many folks can come in and look at animals. You don't have to want to adopt a pet that day to come in and see our pets. Some people just visit us every week to say hello to the dogs or the cats, which is nice.
You touched on this earlier, but I didn't want to mention where you get your animals. Do you take in stray dogs?
We don't take in stray pets. Strays, by Connecticut state health codes, need to go to animal control officers. So that's the division of your local police department. So if there is a stray dog, you need to call your animal control officer. And a lot of pets get lost. Unfortunately, a lot of pets, even with the electric fences, some dogs will run right, they see a bunny, they run right through it. A lot of pets become lost. Cat run out the door when you let the door open. It can happen. And so animal control officers are prepared to be able to put the word out if they receive a stray that obviously appears to be a family pet, let's say, and that's why it's so important to have a collar on your pet, have your identification on your pet. So animal control officers they will hold the pets for a certain period of time for the owners to come if they feel that it might be a lost pet. And we also have resources on our website for lost and found pets, which is fantastic. So if someone in the community says to us, hey, I lost my pet, can you let the world know about it because it's my Shih Tzu, let's say. We can actually put that on our website with a photograph, a description of the pet. So we do work very closely with animal control, but they're your best resource. If you see a stray dog or cat, if you see wild turkeys in your yard, you need to call Department of Wildlife. But if it's a dog or a cat, definitely call your local animal control officer.
Again, we're talking with Priscilla Clark from the Connecticut Humane Society. You can join us by calling 203-234 0025. I talked a little while ago with Tommy about the road race that you sponsored, and I think we may have some pictures from that road race. But tell us about some of the fundraising events, and as the pictures come on put on the screen, we'll just talk about it. But you have a number of events. Tell us first about the road race and the Central Connecticut Dog Fair. There is the start.
Definitely. There was the start of this year's road race.
Yep.
This is a great event. It's the 5th year of this event, and it's our first year partnering with the Merit and Rotary Foundation. So they do a great job putting this event on, and they were looking for a partner to really grow this event. So it's not only a 5K, which you see the folks starting here right now. The gent in the yellow shorts, he won in his division, if I'm not mistaken.
That is Tim Beach, who is 52 years old, and I've been chasing him for 20 years. And it's the first time I've seen him from the front, because he's very fast.
So the road race was well attended. We had over 100 people register. We had, as you said, Ed, about 80 people run. It was very hot. It was very humid that day. But in addition to the road race, we also had a dog walk, which was a 2-mile walk around the park. There's some of our walkers with their pets. And we also had a pet fair with a lot of different animal welfare groups who joined us, as well as pet-related vendors and just some really fun fair vendors. We had food, we had music, etc. So there's some folks starting their dog walk. And the dog...
How long was the dog walk?
The dog walk was about 2 miles.
2 miles, okay.
And we had doggy cooling centers around the grounds, which were kiddie pools filled with water, because we wanted to make sure our four-legged friends were hydrated and kept cool in the heat.
And that was a hot day, too, that day.
It was a very hot day.
And that is one of the fundraising teams?
Yes, this is our top fundraising team. This was after they finished their 5K.
That's a great shot.
And this is C-Spot Run. And this team is actually, the 2 co-captains are centered in the middle, and they organize the team. These are all folks who are involved with the Connecticut Humane Society. And the team fundraised over $2,500 for the event, which was fantastic. Here is one of our staff in her C-Spot Run shirt with one of our adoptable pets. I believe that was Jack's. And so we brought pets for the day so people could meet the pets. And there's a little girl who just had her face painted. We had face painters, we had caricaturists. And as you can see in the back, there's tents from some of the vendors. We also had some activities going on. Now, this photo, I talked a little bit about volunteering. And volunteers not only help us with the pets in the shelter, but these folks are from a corporate group. And they came and helped us with spring landscaping and cleanup at our shelters. We're completely nonprofit. We don't receive any state, federal, or municipal funding, so we depend upon the kindness of all of our supporters. So these folks took a day off from their jobs, their desk jobs, and came out and helped us clean up the grounds, clean up the paths where we walk all the dogs at the shelter in Newington. So there's a lot of different ways people can support us. You can come to events. You can also volunteer to help pets. This young lady,
and I wanted to if I may, and this involves pet fostering.
Yes.
And you could see this at first glance. It looks like she has her hands full, but it looks like she enjoys it. But talk a bit about, if you would, about pet fostering.
Definitely, we have volunteers who will foster pets in their homes for us. We provide all the supplies, the medical care for the pets. So these are, as you can see here, this was an entire litter of kittens, and it took her a while, her husband, to line up all the cats so they could take this photograph, get them all on the couch at the same time.
What is it, about 8 or 9 there?
There's about 8 or 9 cats, and so pets that are fostered in people's homes for a period of time include kittens before they're available for adoption, puppies before they're available for adoption, pets who are in our shelter who need additional time and energy or maybe home care from someone. So a pet that's not doing well in the shelter, we'll ask one of our foster volunteers to take the pet home. They keep them in their homes with their families. They treat them as if they were part of their family. And then that's a huge service that if we didn't have foster families, it would be very difficult for us to
absolutely.
provide these services.
This and I'm familiar with this gentleman. This is Bill Berloni, who is a theatrical animal trainer, and we're kind of skipping around here, but I know one of your big fundraising events is going to be on October 4th in Westport, the Fall Gala, and he actually has been training animals in the theater for over 30 years. And actually adopted the original Sandy from the Newington shelter for Annie.
Yes, he did.
But tell us, not that I want to steal your thunder here, but tell us about this gentleman, and he's the guest of honor or the recipient of honor at the Fall Gala?
He is our first inductee into our Founders Society called the Gertrude O. Lewis Humanitarian Society. So Gertrude O. Lewis, as you recall, is the young lady who founded our organization in the 1800s. And Bill, back in the 1970s, was a scrappy 20-year-old intern at Goodspeed Theater, Goodspeed Opera House here in Connecticut. And he was told that he could get some equity points, some points towards his union card if he went out and found a dog for a new show they were developing. But he had to train the dog. So he looked in a lot of shelters, and I don't believe this is the original Sandy, but he came to Newington with some change in his pocket, adopted what we all know now is the first Sandy from the original Annie on Broadway that was at Goodspeed, and then it went to Broadway. Bill, since then, has been pretty much the penultimate theatrical animal trainer. So anytime there are animals that need to do very specific things in either theater or film, he finds the pets that would be appropriate for it, and they all have to have understudies. So not only does he have to find the right Chihuahua, he has to find 3 of them, okay? Because the dogs have to have understudies.
Wow.
And Bill trains these pets. He uses positive reinforcement training, which means nobody's getting rapped on the nose with a newspaper. Positive reinforcement, whether it's with food or praise, to train them to do the very specific things they need to do. He told a story at the last presentation where I was an attendee when he was lecturing, and he was talking about the little Chihuahua in Legally Blonde, which became a Broadway musical after it was a movie, and how he had to train the Chihuahua to do something very specific. It took 5 different commands to make the Chihuahua do this. I think the Chihuahua had to jump into his little bag, into his little dog carry bag, and then jump back out again really quickly. So needless to say, he is fantastic with animals. He's a great person. He and his wife and his family, they live right here in Connecticut. He's a Connecticut guy born and raised. And
he also has a book out too.
He has several books out.
Does he?
Yes, and Broadway Tales is
Tails for Tales. So
yes.
It's a little catchphrase. So.
And that's really his story of how he started. All of the pets a lot of the pets he's worked with, a lot of the famous people he's worked with, and it's just such a great opportunity to be able to honor someone like Bill. This is our Founders Humanitarian Society, which we are inducting him into at our gala in October. And really, any inductees, he and any future inductees into this society that we've created, are people that we want to honor, take care, not only promote humanity and non-cruelty to pets. So again, Bill is in the entertainment industry. You know, we've all heard the terrible stories in the entertainment industry about what would happen to show pets after shows were done. And he finds homes for all of these, not only the Chihuahua, but all the understudies. If he can't find homes for them, they come back to his home till he can find homes for them. And he finds all of these pets in shelters and rescues.
Nice. Nice. Again, we're talking with Priscilla Clark from the Connecticut Humane Society. You can join us by calling at 203-234-0025. Tommy?
I wanted to ask Priscilla, now you said you rely on support from the community.
Yes.
Can they donate food? items as well?
That's a really
Dog
great
food,
question.
cat food.
People can donate a bunch of different things, Tommy. They can donate items that we can use in the shelter. So that includes everything from toys to the things we need to care for all the pets. The litter boxes, the cat litter, the paper towels. We need everything for the shelter, and all of that is on our website at cthumane.org. We are very lucky that we are part of a program with Hills Science Diet that underwrites a majority of the food that we feed the pets in the shelter. Mm-hmm. However, if people say, I want to donate food, it's a great opportunity for them to support another program called our Pet Food Pantry. We developed our pantry about 3 or 4 years ago based on community need. We knew that a lot of people in the community had to surrender their pets because they could not afford to feed them. So we developed our Pet Food Pantry. We accept donations of any kind of pet food into our pantry. Members of the community can apply to become a client of the pantry based on financial need. And then if they're accepted to be a client, it's a 1-year participation, and then they can renew the following year. And they receive once a month, they come to the shelter, they receive pet food for their pets for an entire month. To be a member, to be a client of the Pet Food Pantry, we just ask that people not get any more pets. We don't want them, we want to be feeding the pets to keep their pets in their home. We ask that they not get any more pets, which makes sense. We want them to care for the pets they currently have. And this program, again, is we have volunteers handing the food out every month. We do it once a month up in Newington. People line up their cars and we carry the food out to them. The last pantry distribution was in 98 degrees and 100% humidity, and our volunteers were out there carrying the 40-pound bags of dog food to the cars. I can't say enough about our volunteers. They make this organization work. We have hundreds of volunteers across the state who help us in so many different ways.
If one was interested in volunteering, what would the prerequisites be? And is there an age restriction?
There actually is, only for volunteers to work in our shelters, which is they must be 18 years or older. However, there are a lot of different opportunities which don't involve volunteering in the shelter. For example, volunteering with our special events. I have folks, I've had several young people who, during our Pet Fair 5K dog walk, they were putting out posters for me in town. You know, you don't need to be 18 years old to do something like that for me. We have a lot of volunteers who help us just the day of events. So if they're not available to make that 6-month commitment to come to the shelter once a week for a shift every single week, there's a lot of different ways people can help. They can also even hold their own fundraising or food drive at their place of work or at their school. And that's something that, again, is on our website. We have the how-tos on our website to let people know how they can get involved. And there are many different ways people can support our efforts.
I wanted to share a story with you that I heard yesterday. Don't know where it was. I heard it on the news yesterday. But apparently this young boy had a dog, and the dog was injured. So he raised money to get the dog a doggy wheelchair.
I tell you.
Yeah, I heard it yesterday. It was on the news. Got him a doggy wheelchair.
It's so important. And boy, can they spin around in those things. I tell you, it's amazing. Pets, people think of, and a lot of times when people meet me, they say, oh, those terrible commercials you have on TV with the dogs and they're sick and they're in cages. That's not us. We're not affiliated with any national organizations. We're not affiliated with the Humane Society of the United States or the ASPCA. They're great organizations and they do wonderful things across the country and around the world. But we're just born and raised Connecticut. We're Connecticut Humane Society. And a lot of people think that coming into the shelter is a scary experience. People are very happily surprised when they come in. They're greeted by our staff who are friendly, who are interested in helping them out. They see all of our volunteers in the shelter who are doing such great work. Everybody's friendly. The buildings are clean. We work very hard at making a great home away from home for our pets.
And you do offer tours of the shelters, as I understand it.
We do. In case any student groups are interested, we usually ask for just a nominal donation, or they can bring in pet food for our pet food pantry. And one of our great tour guides will give them a tour. They'll even give them kind of a back of house tour and show them where we take care of the pets. If the pets need any kind of medical care, stick their heads into the medical suite, meet some of our medical staff. And it's a great opportunity for people to be able to see this is not a scary place. This is a place where we're saving lives.
Absolutely.
We're talking with Priscilla Clark from the Connecticut Humane Society. In doing research for this, I found that the Connecticut Humane Society discourages the use of the phrase "no kill" in its description, and the term is considered misleading, and I just wonder if you could elaborate on that.
It's definitely misleading, Ed. A lot of groups will use scare tactic of saying, well, we're no kill, and they're not no kill, or you're not no kill. No kill is very misleading. If an organization is truly no kill, which means they do not euthanize even if a pet is in distress, even if a pet's life is no longer viable, that would be a sanctuary. That would be a place where animals go to live for the rest of their lives. That's not us. We are a wonderful resort for pets until they find their forever homes. Our policy is that in the event that a pet is either past the point of having a healthy life due to medical needs, or if a pet is a danger to itself or others, then euthanasia, which is an injection, it's basically painless. I'm going to start crying if I go into it, but
it's not painless for the owner,
Yeah.
so
it's not painless for the owners. It is humane. We do not take it lightly, and if a pet in our care is beyond medical help, we actually have a board of people who sit down together and say, what are our options? Euthanasia is never the only option. We work with a lot of other groups in the area. If there's a pet that will never be adopted, that still has behavior issues, that we will never find a forever home for, we work with sanctuaries. We work with so many other groups in the community. I mean, we accept pets from animal control officers, and we also share pets with other organizations that we may not be able to find homes for. So we're all in this together. In terms of, you had said before, Ed, are they your competition? We're all a big family. It's great that I can reach out to another animal welfare group and say, hey, there's an opportunity with such and such, feed store in Litchfield who would like to host an event and I can't go. Would you guys like to go? We're a big community because we're all in it for the same thing. We want to find homes for these pets.
We've got about 13 minutes left to the top of the hour. We're talking with Priscilla Clark from the Connecticut Humane Society. You could join in the conversation by giving us a call at 203-234-0025. A lot of good information. Tom?
I wanted to share a story with you, Ed. I don't know if I ever told you this, but you were talking about being tough on the owner when you have to put a pet down. When I was younger, I had a pet dog, part Cocker Spaniel, part Poodle, and I was coming home from the hospital. I was in the hospital. Family was bringing me home. Coming in the house, he was so glad to see me when I came in the door. He was jumping all up on me and everything. He snuck out without us knowing. About an hour later, knock on the door. My neighbor from behind us had hit him with the car.
Oh, no.
Well, he ended up getting a broken paw. It was fine. But then after that, he developed a skin cancer. And it just got progressive. We ended up putting him down. But yeah, that was very tough, considering, that he was happy to see me when I came home. and this happens to him.
Yeah. It's tough, and I know I don't have to talk to you or anybody about unconditional love that a dog can gives you. And Maureen and I, for the longest time, adopted the senior golden retriever, so we kind of conditioned ourselves to have a good cry every 2 years or so. But
and I want to talk a little bit about those type of pets, Ed, if I may. A lot of people will come into a shelter and say, I want a kitten, I want a puppy, which is great. Young pets are a lot more work. They're going to live a lot longer, which is great, but they're also going to cost a lot more, which sometimes is tough for folks. Senior pets or mature pets can really bring so much joy to people's lives and give the pet a second chance, give the family an opportunity to bring someone into the family, so you don't have all the potty training, you don't have the leash training, you don't have so many of the pets in our care. We teach them good manners. We teach them sit and leash and come, and so think about an adult pet. We have a lot of pets who are what we call bonded pairs. So let's say someone is looking for a pet, to stay at home with them, to keep them company. Let's say they're home a lot.
And the senior dogs, I think, we found they're kind of low maintenance. There is not a senior dog. Who is that we're looking at now?
Oh, this one. This is a very happy little face. And this guy was recently adopted and spent a very short period of time with us. As you could see, this lovely face jumping out at us. And this is one of the dogs who, although this is a full-grown adult pet, he was a Chihuahua mix. And he found his home, as I said, very quickly. But unfortunately, some pets are with us a little bit longer than this cutie. And as I mentioned, the bonded pairs. This is, you're seeing on the screen right now, that's Red Wine. She was with us for quite some time. She came to us as an owner surrender. You can see a little bit of...
Is that a shepherd?
That's a shepherd. She's a German shepherd. She had a little bit of scarring on her muzzle from a little bit of less than the best treatment. Beautiful, beautiful shepherd, found a wonderful home with us, adult dog, and give those adult pets a chance. Those bonded pets, a lot of pets, they're bonded to one another when they come to us, so we want to find them a home together. And we'll also give you a little discount on if you take 2 pets. Here's one of our adoption counselors speaking with someone who's considering adopting that beautiful cat. So again, we take the time to find out about the person and make sure that the person understands what's involved with this pet. If it is a senior pet or a pet that does have any kind of special needs, we fully disclose everything to the owner. This is not, there's no smoke and mirrors here. If for any reason the people find that they are unable to care for this pet as they had hoped, even with the help of our behavior counselors, we ask adopters to sign on their contract that if they need to surrender the pet will come back to us. So again, we're with the pet for the life of the pet.
You have an event coming up
Yes,
on the 10th of August called
we do.
Pupstravaganza.
Yes.
In Waterford. You want to?
We are participating.
It sounds like a lot. Just the name of it sounds like a lot of fun.
We are participating in Pupstravaganza. This is part of Waterford Week, which is a town-wide celebration in the town of Waterford, Connecticut, so down by New London. And every year they have fireworks, they have a parade, they have a lot going on in town. And at the local dog park is the animal control officer for East Lyme and Waterford, who's a great guy. He organizes Pupstravaganza, which is basically a very small pet fair. So there's vendors. We go there. We will be there this weekend, not me personally, but our staff from our Waterford shelter with some of our adoptable pets and some of our volunteers. So it's just a great opportunity to get out in the community and meet folks. So we organize our own events, but we also go to other folks' events as well.
How do you feel about dog parks, by the way? There's one in Hamden, and our viewing audience includes Wallingford, and there's a organization in Wallingford trying to get the town fathers to put in a dog park. Do you have a view on dog parks?
Well, I have to say, for me personally, I'm a cat owner, so I don't currently have a dog. I think Dog parks are a great opportunity for dogs to interact with one another in a healthy atmosphere, as long as the pet owners are responsible. If you bring your pet to a dog park, it's understood that your pet is going to be polite to other pets. It's going to be polite to other people.
Yeah.
It will not bite. It has all its shots. It will be spayed or neutered. So that's really a big responsibility for someone to take their pet off a leash in a fenced area with other pets. So I personally feel as long as the pet owner is highly responsible, and it's just like taking your kids to the beach. You don't just plop your kid down in the sand and then go look the other way.
Yeah.
When you're at a dog park, you need to be engaged with your pet. You need to be in there with your pet.
I'm like you, I'm a cat owner, as you know.
Yeah. But I like dogs too. That's right, that's right. I helped foster a dog, Luann's dog, a couple years
Good
ago.
old Samson.
Mr. Sampson, yes. So I leash trained him and did a little potty work with him, and he's a wonderful dog, and now he's the love of Old Faithful's life.
How about the day you came over with Samson, Luann, and George stood out the door peeking in at him?
Oh yeah, he was too thrilled.
Right.
Little jealousy there. Again, we're talking with Priscilla Clark from the Connecticut Humane Society, and in the few minutes we have remaining, if you want to give us a call, you can call us at 203-234-0025. If we did not answer any questions that you might have, let's give that website a plug again. It is www.cthumane.org. And you have an email address, which can we give out?
You certainly may.
pclark@cthumane.org. So.
And if I can't find an answer for you, I'll find somebody who can give you an answer. And again, our next big event that's coming up, just in the last little bit of time that we have, is our Fall Gala, which is going to be great fun. Don't be concerned by the name Gala, because it's just fun and great. And
I'm not sure. I
this is
probably
the
won't
event.
read. Yep, this is the.
This is our. It's a cocktail party. It's a dinner. We're going to have a lot of really great dinner stations. So it's not stuffy. You don't have to put on a tuxedo. You don't have to sit at your table and wait for the waiter to come with your food. It's going to be fun. A lot of entertainment. Some great silent auction, live auction, and of course an opportunity to meet Bill Berloni, who is just a fantastic person, incredible theatrical animal trainer. Some pictures from our gala from last year. There's our president of our board, Ellen Sharon, speaking to everyone at the gala last year. And there's Senator Blumenthal
okay.
with our executive director, Gordon Willard, last year. The senator braved, not only he flew up from DC, and then he sat in traffic for 5 hours to come to our event. So we really appreciate Senator Blumenthal's stick-to-itiveness attending the event last year. And it's going to be a lot of fun. If we have any tickets left, they'll still be available at the door. But if you buy 2 tickets together, it's only $100 a person. So you get a whole evening of fun and festivities.
And all goes for the cause.
All goes to Connecticut Humane Society.
Very quickly, you are also on Facebook. How is Facebook in getting the message out?
Facebook is fantastic because so many people are on Facebook, as we all know, and it's a great opportunity to share information. That's where we put a lot of our shout outs. For example, one of our great supporters in Westport, her dog had Daisy May is her dog. Her dog turned 12. She told all of her friends, bring donations for Connecticut Humane, bring some toys. She came to the shelter last week. We posted the pictures on Facebook today. She brought us $1,600.
Nice.
And that will help so many pets. And so we put some great pictures on there. And don't you know, we got a Facebook response directly from her dog, Daisy May, who also has a Facebook account. So Facebook is an amazing thing.
And it's just, if you type in the Connecticut Humane Society, it'll pop up on Facebook. Okay.
Exactly.
Where's the gala?
Oh.
The gala is going to be at the Westport Inn in Westport. It's right on Route 1, very easy to get to. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And then our next event we do next spring over in, it's called the Faux Fur Ball, and that's over in New London County in April.
That's what I
And we
called.
did have something, and I'm not sure how much time we have left, but the Folly Farms, September 29th.
Yes, this is a great group. Folly Farm up in Simsbury.
So-
And they hold
In 45
a-
seconds, tell us about that. I'm getting the word from our staff.
Okay, dog costume contest. I believe it's September. Did you pull the date off the website?
September 29th.
September 29th up in Simsbury. The information is on our website, cthumane.org. It's a great dog costume contest that your dog can participate in. And all the money raised comes to Connecticut Humane.
Nice.
What a quick hour.
Boy, I'll say.
Thank you, Priscilla, once again.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you back.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
And Ed will be back here on Tuesday, September 3rd.
Yep, September 3rd. Don't forget tomorrow night, open mic with Mike Cuomo every Wednesday night right here at NHTV at 8 p.m. And our good friends at the Squared Circle every Monday night. Hollywood J, hopefully he'll be back.
Hopefully we'll be back next Monday.
night at 7 p.m.
with
right
John
here.
Zimmerman.
Yep, on NHTV.
Fantastic.
So,
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next month.
bye-bye.
Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Turn your dial to cable 18. You will see the best in TV. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Sit back and listen. You will hear the best conversation of the year. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom. Just talking with Tom.